Today I want to deliver you a cautionary tale and give you the benefit of, shall we say, my misfortune. This is a bit of a parable for modern times about how something can be going so well, you can do something really good, and it can all come crumbling down around you. And it's also the point of this video is to let you know that you have to have a backup plan. You always have to have something else to rely on, just in case what you're focusing on at the moment doesn't work out. So I've got to tell you a story about a business I started up, built up, did really well, and how it came crushing down on me. The business was started after I did a training course, or I was involved in a membership program with a company called Income School. Now, this isn't a video where I'm going to slag those guys off whatsoever in any way, shape or form. The course was excellent, it's good value for money, the people involved in it were all superb, the training was excellent, and it worked. The whole point of the course was Project 24. It was supposed to teach you how to build up an online business and to get to a full-time income in 24 months. Spoiler alert, I got there in 18 months. But more of that in a second. First of all, draw your attention to this. This is a plaque the people at Income School in America sent me very kindly because I was the 100th person, quite cool, not 99, not 101, 100th, I liked that. But they sent me this all the way across the Atlantic without it getting damaged, incredibly. And it was to mark the fact that I was the 100th member of their programme that gained a full-time income, setting up a business that they taught how to do online using their methods. Fantastic, really proud of that, and great symbol of the achievement. Now what I did was, I built a car blog, a blog about the American car industry. If you watch some of the other videos of mine, you probably know I'm a motoring writer and journalist, and I only concentrate on the American market. I've done for over a decade. Now, this all came about in a really weird way. I was actually complaining about somebody on a site called Upwork. I was looking for some writing work, and I'd been in touch with a potential client who wanted a sample article doing, which I had no issue doing that. Don't charge for it, don't charge for sample articles. I think they're genuine, that. And so I did an article for him. I think it was about Ford F-150. And I submitted it, hoping I'd get more work from it, which I've done in the past from other such things. And I didn't hear anything for a couple of weeks. And I don't know what it was, but I just thought, I'm going to try something. So I Googled the title of the article I wrote. And to my absolute disgust, it came up on a website of a truck dealer in the United States. So this guy had taken a sample article off me that he didn't pay for, and he published it on one of his clients' websites and no doubt charged them for that. Now, as I'm sure you can imagine, I wasn't best pleased. In fact, I was absolutely furious. So I got in touch with the site and I put the complaint to them, told them that this guy was doing this, he was scamming it. And I looked in the history and everything, I could see there were other people sending him stuff as well. He got lots of clients, potential writers on the go. So I thought, I'm not the only one this is happening to. I'm not having it. So anyway, they stopped him. They got in touch with him. I think they're going to cancel his account. And one evening, and this is like one of those stories about don't go on eBay drunk or don't go on Amazon drunk on the night when you're coming from the bar. One Friday night, I'd had a few drinks at home with the wife, and it was bugging me about this guy. So I went on and I sent him a message through the Upwork site, and I told him what I'd done and that. And I said, you know what? I said, if you're man enough, get in touch with me and return my work. And this is my email address, or no phone number. I gave him my phone number. And I thought, I'd never hear from him. He's a scam artist. And that's it. Next day, I'm walking the dog on the seafront. Beautiful. I think it's a July day. Beautiful summer's day. Well done. My phone rings. What's ringing me at that time in the morning? And something just clicked in my head. I thought, God, I remember doing that last night. And I thought, I wonder if it's that guy. Anyway, unknown number. Picked it up. Long story short, it was the guy. He apologised profusely. He said he wasn't trying to scam me, anything like the other. He said some other stuff about blowing smoke, you know, about, oh, I never expected a writer of your quality and had to get in touch, all this type of thing. I still didn't particularly buy it, to be quite honest. But anyway, the guy says, he says, look, your stuff's so good. He says, I've seen some of your other writing you've done. What you need to do, you need your own website. And I says, oh, no. I said, I've had one before, like a portfolio thing, just to show people what you do. And he, no, he says, no, you see, it's like, he says, these guys, it's Income School. He says, they have a course and they've got a site, and in no time they built it up to $8,000 a month income from advertising and other things. So anyway, it was a nice phone call. Never dealt with the guy again. Obviously, he took the article down, thankfully. I appreciate that. I told him he was going to pay for it. I said, no, I don't want paying for it. Just take it down. Forget about it. And I withdrew my complaint. So I looked into Income School and I found some of the stuff here on YouTube, on their YouTube channel. It was Jim and Ricky back in those days, not just Ricky as it is today. And I liked what I saw. The free stuff on the channel was really good, really helpful and really useful. And because of that, the classic way these channels and these businesses are supposed to work, I looked into it and I signed up to become a member. It wasn't cheap, and to me at the time, it was quite a lot of money. But from what I saw, they seemed genuine and the product looked good, and I liked what I'd seen on their YouTube channel. I decided to get going. I started a website called carbuyingandselling.com. I followed their processes, learned it intricately, and I got no response. Nothing much happened for about 6 to 7 months. I was getting up to about 75, 100 views a day after about 5 or 6 months. But there's little shoots, but the course told you to expect that. And before long, the traffic started to rocket up. I was able to sign up to an advertising company called Ezoic, who place adverts on the website for you. And within 18 months from the start, I earned enough money to live off comfortably. I was doing so well, I got my wife to quit her factory job and come and help me. She looked after the dog, so I didn't have to on an afternoon, but also I got trained up to be able to use WordPress a little bit and how to upload articles for me when I'd written them. And other tasks she could help me with. Everything was going great. She didn't have to do a mundane job. I didn't really have to rely on writing for other people and meeting their needs anymore. All was going great. So I cut myself down to one client that I was still writing for, because he was a good guy in Canada and liked him and he paid decent money. So I stayed with that. And all was going well. And we had probably about over a year of a good, solid, full income for both of us from this website. Most of the money came from advertising placed on the site, but I also got some affiliate deals for, there was a membership thing for car auctions in America, which was getting me a couple of $100 a month at some point, maybe a little bit more than that, and some other bits and bats that were adding to it. I didn't find it easy to monetize the car thing, so that was a bit of a disappointment, but most of it came from it, and I was quite happy with what I was getting. And then one day, I think it was in October, what did we get, October 2022, I think it might have been. I think it must have been 22, yeah, October 22. My stats just died overnight. I was averaging somewhere around 65, 75,000 unique views a month. All of a sudden, it dropped down to like 120 views. Not 120,000, 120. Now, I've had this sort of thing happen before with the website where I tinkered around with stuff I didn't really know what I was doing with, some of the technicalities of the back end, and all of a sudden I got no traffic because the website wasn't visible. But I checked it and the website was visible, and I was for a day or two I was absolutely scratching my head. I couldn't work out what was happening, and I got onto my web host, every possible diagnostic I could try, and everybody was saying no. The advertising's fine, the showing up, the pages are showing up, all checked in Google, all showing up. Everything was there. Just the traffic had gone completely. It turns out Google had done what I believe was, I don't know if it was a core update, I think it was an anti-spam update. Now, I've got to say this is absolutely true. Every piece of content on that website, every single word was written by me. I've got authority. I'm a member of the Guild of Motoring Writers. I've written for companies like Honda and Auto Express and other big manufacturers in America and here in the UK. So I wasn't spamming. There was no spam. But I got hit by this update. Started looking into it, a few different things here and there, look at people online having similar experiences. And I wasn't the only one, so I realised that this was the case. It wasn't necessarily anything I'd particularly done. And I gave it a few weeks to see if Google corrected it, if they, sometimes they go a little too far and they wind things back. But no, they didn't. It was absolutely atrocious. So I went overnight from having a really good full-time income for myself and my wife, generated from the website, being able to sit back and basically do nothing if I didn't want to, but I kept writing more content to try and grow it. And that was it. I'd gone from that to possibly, what would I say? The website then was earning a month what you could probably earn in a day or 2 days on minimum wage, one of you. It was about a 95, 98% crash in traffic and income. Absolutely devastating. Thankfully, very thankfully, I'd kept on that one writing. Remember the one I told you a little bit ago? The one client in Canada. And to this day, he's still my one and only client. But it gives me enough work, even in these days of AI, to have a good income. The reason this is about 2 weeks nearly since I did my last video, and that's because getting it towards the back of the year, he wanted a load of work delivering so he could go away on holiday back end for a couple of weeks, at back end of the year and that. So that's great. So I've got plenty of work. Me and my wife live off what I earn, and it's going well. So it wasn't intended as a backup plan. I only stayed with him because he was a great guy and he paid well and paid quickly and all those sorts of reasons. But I'm so thankful I still got him. Now I'm exploring lots of other ways. I've got other irons in the fire doing other things, including this. I've actually got a car buying and selling YouTube channel, which I haven't touched for probably about 6 months. I was getting 20,000 plus views on some of the videos on that channel, a faceless one. But the editing takes so long on that it's like a full day to do. The channel's not monetized at all yet. It could be. I could easily resurrect it if I was working full time. If I lost the client today, I have, once again, a backup plan. I've got a YouTube channel there that's got plenty of views, plenty of potential, and I could work on that full time, do a video every day, and I'm sure I could get that up to a decent level of income. So that's the thing I want to tell you about these things. You've got to have something in reserve. Even if you don't have a backup business or a backup income in terms of something completely separate from the business that you're doing, say you're a gardener and all of a sudden, say you have an accident and you can't physically do it anymore. I'm not saying, oh, well, you need to have a YouTube business somewhere or you need to have a t-shirt manufacturing business. I don't mean that. It's just in that kind of thing, have various jobs that you can do. I mean, you can't equate for every possible outcome, every disaster, but I've said in one of my earlier videos, and I had a similar thing to this years ago in the 1980s with the t-shirt business I had, the merchandising business, where I got too friendly with the supplier that I relied on from America, and they pulled the rug from under me. And all my eggs were in that one basket virtually, and I scrambled around looking for alternatives that didn't exist. So if you're in a business where you've got one really, really good client, don't rely on that client. I wouldn't have got rid of all my other writing clients, and just relied on my website. If I had done, I would probably struggle to find writing now, especially with AI these days. You would struggle to find writing jobs from scratch. So this is the message. As I say, these guys, absolutely excellent. Income School did a great job. I really appreciate everything they did for me. I learned an awful lot. It was really good for me and got me into the whole world of online. I study AI every day now. I'm working on all sorts of different projects, looking for the right thing, having a go at this, having a go at that. But I will never, ever again have all my eggs in one basket and rely on one income, no matter how good it is. Even if you have a channel or you have a website or you have a business and it's making $100,000 a month, you never know. It could go like that. Before you know it, your income could be gone, done and finished. And the problem with us all is the more we earn, the more we live to that level. If you're earning $4,000, $5,000 a month, you live like somebody earning $4,500 a month. If that jumps to $30,000 a month, you'll live like $30,000. Instead of flying economy, you'll fly business class or first class. Instead of driving my Peugeot, you'll be driving a Mercedes or a BMW. That's how we all operate. And then again, we're only here once, so why not? But please, take heed from me and my Income School experience. Have a backup plan. Enjoy your success. I wish you all the very greatest success, but make sure you're not relying on everything on one client, one business, or one way of doing things.